guys, Insomnia here with some more AFK Arena. Today we're looking at the brand new guide that just dropped for the Dismal Labyrinth from Whitesushii. Big shout out to Whitesushii. Community supporter, does absolutely amazing with these new guides. A lot of players have said the Dismal Labyrinth is not worth running. They don't advise it. It's too difficult. We have heard a lot of feedback about the Dismal Labyrinth overall, but as you've seen from the video last night, we ran through it. You do get a lot of gold, experience, dust. You also do get additional coin out of there. Depending where you are on VIP level, it only makes it better. So let's go ahead. We're going to hop into the guide. We're going to break it down and see exactly what we're getting out of this guide. So looking here at the guide, the Dismal Labyrinth by Whitesushii rewards gold plus 15.35%, EXP 15.7, coin plus 6.4. So that is really the biggest thing in regards to the overall running the Dismal Labyrinth right here. The gold and EXP, yes, the coin is not too drastic. You don't get that many more coins out of this one, but when you look at the gold, the EXP, and the dust that you get out of here, that is really a game changer. When you look, the values we're taking comparison the same account, which we've been doing a lot of data, even with Linker, big shout out to Linker. We've been comparing a lot of data, and this is where it comes from, doing both labyrinths while trying to maximize rewards, picking the most camps and bigger camps whenever possible. This is always a trick. Make sure when you're going through the labyrinth that you are taking the path with the most camps, meaning that you're going to get the most coin. Also, if you're running the Dismal, you're going to get the most gold, EXP, dust out of those camps. Here's a little bit breakdown of the numbers. Tokens for each run came out to approximately 66.76 in normal, 71.05 in Dismal. Factoring in the Riz RNG. Remember, you have 1 out of 3 chances with Riz to get the 3,000 bonus out of there from killing the boss. So essentially the difference between there is a couple hundred labyrinth tokens. Now with the Dismal Labyrinth being a little more difficult, you are getting more tokens, which is what we look for. So looking there, but again, the gold, EXP, and coins, so these are the chests. So on average, you can see small, medium, large, and then the bosses. The chest amount you get, Dismal Labyrinth came in various sizes with each different quantity of chests will drop. The above table shows you the range of hours, chest quantity by the reward hours. Each camp can give you as well as the quantity of the camps you're likely to come across. It is very possible that this table isn't complete because remember, every labyrinth run is going to be a little bit different. That said, these are the numbers that assume that all 3 rewards have an equal chance to drop. Again, mathematically speaking, this is where Whitesushii absolutely dominates. The numbers do not lie when it comes to running overall the event. So gold, if you look here compared to the normal labyrinth, 108%, EXP 657%. So the EXP that you get out of here, which of course is to level up your heroes, absolutely phenomenal. 2,366 dust with 6.4% increase in coins. So across the board, when you start unlocking the resonating crystal at level 240, EXP is what you want. This is going to be one of the biggest factors, followed by dust that you are completely out of to keep you from gaining additional levels. If we add the estimated chests on top of the base rewards from the labyrinth run itself, we get incredible values that you see above. This is what makes the Dismal Maze well worth it. After triple checking the math because we wanted to make sure it was right, Dismal Labyrinth indeed gives double the gold, 7 times the EXP, as well as it's approximately 4 days worth of dust buying from the store. This makes money running the mode incredibly worthwhile. Exactly right there, incredibly worthwhile. So not only do the enemies that you fight in the maze itself drop more loot themselves, but you also get the bonus loot when you kill out one of the camps. So looking here at the difficulty, 3 Duress tiers, less relics, negative modifiers, and 3 banned factions, which is very difficult. So breaking these down, the Duress tiers. You can use 3 Durus tiers per run to go ahead and reset your whole entire team, so bringing your entire team back to life. One of the caveats with this is make sure that you're running through all of your heroes before you use Durus tiers. So let's say I have 2 teams of 5 heroes. I have 10 heroes in total. My first team dies. I'm not going to use this Durus tier. My second team dies. Okay, now I don't have any teams left. I'm still not going to use that Durus tier. These we're going to save because I can go ahead and make a mismatch team of the heroes that I have remaining, with the possibility that we can take out 1 or 2 heroes. So when I do use the Durus tiers, it's much easier to go ahead and fight the camp. That way you can kill out the camp as fast as possible with the minimal resilience. It's not looking here, you can only use 3 Durus tiers. It's possible for the player to run out of usable heroes and then get stuck. If you're at the point of getting stuck, this is when you should use the Durus tiers because they are limited. If a camp is too hard to beat, which we'll talk about in a minute, you can go ahead and just abandon or skip that entire camp so you don't even have to deal with it. Relics. In the normal, you get 22. The Dismal, you get 8. So it is pretty limited for the relics that you get. However, the power of the relics is very strong. Normally, these teams aren't that bad since the normal Lab will allow you to stack offensive relics, which can quickly dispose of enemies. In the Dismal, however, it's rather challenging. With a lower relic count means a greater chance of simply not getting the offensive relics to deal with. A lot of times when I run the Dismal, and the couple times that I've run it, I go for some of the defensive relics. The defensive relics are very powerful. The aggressive relics or the strength relics are very strong. To make this worse, by the negative modifiers, which the team takers, which is discussed later on the left. After being said, the mode does not give some stronger relics, not typically found in normal labyrinth. So you do get a couple different relics. Negative modifiers. This I take with a grain of salt because you're always going to have 3 negative modifiers, as you can see here. They have blood loss, they have the vile shield, and they have the kiss of death. Every 4 labyrinth cycles, so every 8 days, these are going to change. All of these are going to be changed, and they are the negative modifiers that you find in the Trial of God. From what I see, they aren't any directly overlap to the TOG modifications, but are some similarities. And they are comparable to some of the lower level ones. One of the most challenging aspects come from personal synergy with certain amount of labyrinth teams, which can be very hard. So just like your formations have synergy, the labyrinth teams will have the same. They have signature items, they have furniture, making it a little more difficult. In addition, you have banned factions. So here we cannot use Maulers, we cannot use Lightbearers, meaning no Rowan, no Rose. We are limited to the factions that we can actually use when it comes to the Dismal Maze. First, I thought it was really bad for new players, equally bad for veteran players as like. With 3 factions banned, it's highly likely that one team will become completely unusable. So again, taking out those 2 factions, seeing if you can run it, if you can theoretically get through here, and with some bad lucks on the faction rotations or even on both teams, without 2 good teams, it does become harder. That was kind of the point of the Dismal Labyrinth, or the Dismal Maze. They wanted to make this more difficult. They wanted to make it more challenging, which they did. Question is, did they over tweak it, or is it just right? Is it just going to take kind of an adjustment period, which is going to be very interesting. As you can see, now imagine if Lightbearers and Wilders and Celestials were banned. You probably couldn't go through. I think most players couldn't get through here, which would be an interesting combination to do. You can overcome it with a mercenaries or by skipping the multi-fight camps, which is really the big thing to remember. The multi-fight camps you can completely skip. You won't get the resources that are coming out of there, but you do not lose the labyrinth tokens that would have been out of there, because the labyrinth tokens specifically come from the single fight bosses that you have there, which is very powerful. So looking at the larger camps, some of you might be reading the previous section and wonder why I failed to mention this camp. So these are the larger camps. Player comes across at least 4 of these, all found on the 3rd floor. They give a bit more of a base reward, but are a lot harder due to the multi-fights. That being said, you can completely abandon these. meaning that you can run the entire maze, pick up the extra loot from floor 1 and floor 2, abandon all of the larger camps in floor 3, making it a single run, meaning that you only need one team to go through a single run, which is very, very powerful. So not only are you going to get more resources, you're going to get more lab tokens overall. You're not going to have to worry about the double team fights, which again can make it very, very credible and a lot faster when you get to the third floor. You only have to do single battle fights. Fights don't give relics nor labyrinth tokens. Only thing you lose out are some resources, which are substantial. While they are substantial, it will make it easy to win because you don't need a second team. So the big part of this, of course, tips and tricks. This is where we're going to go through and pay attention. As with the normal labyrinth, you can use mercenaries. Mercenaries are vital to the success of this because they can give you access to the strongest heroes that you might not possess, or the key hero that you're missing to complete a tab, such as a team such as the God tier. 2, a lot of the relics use placeholder images. Check out the relics. Every single time that I've run this, I know the path that I want to take because I know the relics that I want to get. Number 3, skipping the fights. You lose out on some rewards, but you get way more than doing the normal labyrinth because floor 1, floor 2, single fights you will get resources for as well. As such, lazy players can complete the Dismal Lab a lot faster and still get more rewards by dropping all of the large camps or abandoning them. Number 4, lazy players can even opt out of doing the Dismal Lab every 4 days for the 90% of the rewards. That being said, it'll hurt the labyrinth token, but you can still get 90% of the rewards if you opt out because it does give you a little timer above if you miss a Dismal Lab. Number 5, well, it's generally easier to path towards the middle since it gives you the most options. Sometimes camps have a huge power disparity. As you can see here, the camps on the right have 53 million and 61 million. The 61 million is way, way stronger when it comes to the overall power. Check your path, check the heroes that you're going to fight in your path, and finally look at the power of the camps that you're going to fight. Number 6, there are no noticeable differences between the roamers in either labyrinth. We tested this out when we ran through the other day. It was the exact same cost on either the normal labyrinth or the Dismal Maze. Number 7, with the release of the Dismal Lab, there's one new quest. First time you complete it, you get 3,000 bonus tokens for running it. Unfortunately, you don't get any more past that. It just goes towards your regular completions for your 300, essentially, completions of the lab. Number 8, Sushi gets this question quite often, but no idea how the 180% reward bonus would work with double labyrinth. Don't know at this point. It's still relatively too new to see it. And if the 180% reward, so actually missing the lab, would give you the 100% bonus or the double bonus on the 180, he's going to test it out. So we'll get back to that one. Number 9, as with the normal labyrinth, save energy by turning off auto. We realized last time I ran the lab, this is very, very important because you don't want your heroes to die. That's really the really, really big thing. You do not want them to die. And then, of course, number 10, for the 180% reward bonus, alternating dismal, normal, dismal does not work. Only dismal, none dismal to get that 180 reward bonus. Just a few final thoughts. After reading community comments, which come in through Discord and Reddit, the rewards from the labyrinth token, it is not particularly worth it. However, when you consider the almost 2 days, that's right, 2 days worth of experience and dust for every 2 days of labyrinth, it's kind to get as much progression as someone playing for 300 days, but in 150 days, not exactly, but you get my point, which exactly that is with the amount of resources, again, that it gives you. Personally, I've had accounts that struggle a good 20 minutes re-rolling specific fights, which as you've seen in the videos, I have as well, and accounts that completely breeze through in under 10 minutes, where your experience really depends on progression and also the teams that you get. But when you look overall, like I said, with the Dismal Expedition, even looking up here, if you're following kind of the tips and tricks, look at the total. This is really what you have to focus on. So run through the Dismal Labyrinth, do the first floor, do the second floor, third floor, skip all the double fights. You will still get more tokens. You will still get more labyrinth tokens, But in addition to that, you'll get more gold, you'll get more EXP, you'll get more dust, you'll get a lot of the smaller chest rewards out of here, which can increase the progression through the game and not quite stall as much. So you do get more. A lot of players say, well, the Dismal Lab is not worth it. It's too difficult. There's a lot of tips and tricks in here to make it a lot easier, to make it a lot more prevalent to run through. But again, look at the total that you get. It is absolutely crazy. Remember, AFK Arena is a game about time. So it is a game that is meant to be played over time. So the more time that you spend running the Dismal Maze or the Dismal Labyrinth, going through here every 2 days, day after day, day after day, this is going to just equate to that many more resources day after day. So guys, in conclusion, very, very cool guide from Whitesushii. Run the Dismal Labyrinth. Like I said, run through the first floor, run through the second floor. Both of those are relatively easy, especially with the relics. Third floor, you can even skip all of the double fights, just fight the normal ones. You'll get more coin, you'll get more dust, you'll get more EXP, you'll get more gold. So overall, everything that you're looking for in AFK Arena, you will get more for. So again, I'm going to put a link to Whitesushii's guide right down in the comment section. Absolutely amazing. I love the guides. Let me know in the comments too what you guys think of the new guide, and if you're running the Dismal Labyrinth, what you're seeing to return. And as always, thank you guys for watching.